I have a great deal of respect for the Liberty Bibberty commercial.
Welcome to Ducks Unplugged. 2 minds, 1 podcast, and 0 fluff. It's not just work, it's life, and it's definitely not usual. Let's dive in.
Welcome to this week's episode of Ducks Unplugged, Business Not Usual. I'm Ashley Ruggieri, and I'm joined by
Deanna Dolecki.
and our special guest speaker for the week, Sara Winslow, our creative director at Blue Duck Agency.
Thank you for having me.
We are thrilled to be back with another episode. We are going to talk about some really exciting stuff this week.
I can barely wait.
We are going to start with the customary What the Duck. We're going to have Sara decide who had the more What the Duck moment this week.
Yep.
We're going to get into some marketing that works. We brought in a couple real life examples of good marketing.
Sure.
And then we are going to talk about a topic that I love to watch. It's my personal favorite tennis match at our company. The creative wannabe versus the creative director.
I'm the wannabe, just to be clear.
So we're going to have a really good conversation about the dynamics that everyone loves creative and everyone wants to have an opinion about creative. And Sara has to filter all those opinions and make sure that the final output still meets the mark in every single way that we ask her to. So it's going to be a great conversation. And then we'll do a little would you rather at the end just to
Yay.
leave
As a
ourselves a
reward.
little bit of fun. So
Reward is one word.
Reward.
Yeah.
let's get into it. Let's get into our What the Duck moments of the week. Do
All right, you want me to go first?
You go first. Yeah, let's do it.
So my What the Duck moment this week was I just recently went on vacation and our plane caught on fire. And we took off. Yeah, so that happened. So we're on, yeah, for real. I know, I didn't tell anybody. So we were leaving Logan and we're taking off, and literally within like a couple of minutes, you start smelling smoke everywhere.
No.
And so like, you guys smell that? Right. And like, it took a couple minutes and then they came on and they're like, I'm really sorry. We've had an electrical fire. We're not sure where it's from, but we're going to turn around and make an emergency landing in Boston. So they did. They turned around to the emergency landing. The fire trucks like pull up.
Gosh.
I mean, it was fine. It was fine.
Right.
But we had to like get off the plane, obviously switch planes, and we had to wait a few hours. So that was a bit of a
That's a nightmare.
what the? Yeah.
That's an
yeah,
absolute
Yes.
nightmare.
Where's the smoke coming from? And yeah.
Did your life flash before your eyes?
Right. Same question.
No.
Oh, okay.
Too
I think
far.
it happened too fast.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
But I believe it or not, I ran into a colleague of mine that I used to work with too, who was also on the plane. It was a very weird morning.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was my What the Duck.
Okay.
Because
That's a good one.
Yep.
I'm glad you
Yep.
survived.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Mine is not personal. Mine is, did you hear that 23andMe filed Chapter 11 bankruptcy?
No.
And now there is all of this concern about selling people's data. Genetic, the data, the family history data.
Can't, right? HIPAA? No.
I don't know. I feel like this could be some uncharted territory depending on whatever terms and conditions you agreed to as part of getting
like
your testing
nobody
done.
reads it. Come on.
Exactly.
No one reads
Like
it.
nobody.
It's a million pages long.
Yeah.
So there's been all of these videos online of people telling you how to go in, sign in, delete your data.
Oh my God. Nightmare.
And I have never done it because I was afraid of this. I don't necessarily want them having
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
information.
Yep. Yep. I also.
But a lot of family members have. So I've been sending them how to delete your data
Yeah.
from 23andMe.
That's scary.
Wow.
So that was if the data gets into the wrong hands
Right.
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
scenario.
That's bad.
And it's not just your user data, like what are you searching online? It's like you.
Right.
Yeah. No, like it's you.
You.
Yeah. It's like your
Your genome.
like most
Yes.
private information
You.
about you as a human being.
Correct.
Right.
So that was my What the Duck of the week.
All right, that's
Made me
not great.
Really happy that I never did one of those things.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
So I need to choose who has
Yes.
the more alarming What the Duck.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with Deanna only because while I have sympathy for the plight of millions,
You knew
this
what
one
you were
is
getting
directly
into.
next to me. And a plane fire.
Yeah.
And also, yes, you knew what you were getting into.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And I mean,
But also I feel bad, but also you win.
yeah. And thank you so much.
Okay. Like bing, bang, boom.
I'm
Yeah.
okay to be a sore loser because you're alive.
Yeah. I mean, I was
Right, like-
pleasantly surprised at how fast. I keep saying to myself every time I travel, can you imagine being an air traffic controller? Like, can you imagine having that job? No. I cannot imagine it. Like, God love them, right?
So stressful.
They had to land us within like 10 minutes.
There's not a lot of time.
No,
No.
when you smell smoke
Yeah.
on the plane, there's not a lot of time to land the plane.
Right.
Right.
You have to,
Right.
because you're in the sky.
You're definitely
You're
in the sky. You're
and you have
floating
to be
in
on the
a
ground.
Metal, right.
Yes. Which who knows?
That's
Good job, plane makers.
I was a little nervous we were going to land and like something was going to burst into flames, but it didn't.
Because
so.
that happens.
Oh, it's going
It
to make me
does.
feel really great the next time I have to fly out.
But we were safe. We were safe.
Yeah.
We were good.
Yep.
And we got a $12 voucher for lunch. I mean, they made it
Amazing.
all better. Really.
Amazing.
All better. $12.
Ah,
which
worth
did not
it.
pay for my sandwich, by the way.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Yeah, really breaking the bank on
It's
that.
like half a sandwich. Yeah.
Gosh.
Well, okay.
There we
Those
go.
are some good ones.
Yep.
Some good what the
All right.
ducks.
Thanks for the win. Appreciate it, Sarah.
I'm here for you.
All right. All right. So I think one of the key topics we wanted to get into, which I'm really excited about actually, is marketing that works.
Yes.
Let's all geek out for a second and talk about some of our favorite campaigns, brands, however you interpreted this topic.
Yep.
That's what I'm most excited for, to see how each of us interpreted this.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be wildly different across all of them.
Probably. Yeah. Well, let's let our guest go first.
Okay. So the formal question is, I want to make sure that I answer the question. What are brands doing right now? Like what's your favorite brand right now?
Like what marketing, it doesn't have to be right now.
Yeah.
But just marketing that works. Like how do you,
Okay.
marketing you like?
Marketing that works, I think, is, of course, very personal, because marketing that works for me is not going to work for you ladies, or maybe who cares. But when I look back at like my origin story through marketing, I actually just wrote a blog about this that's going to go on the site soon, right? So when I was a teenager, I wallpapered my room with the Absolute vodka ads. And it wasn't because I don't think I had even tried vodka at that point.
No, I thought they were cool too.
They were artistic, and it's such an incredible, from where I sit now today, it's such an incredible brand flex, because they took the bottle and just changed it a million different ways. And it's that, before I was a creative director, I was a writer, and I really love a good like root phrase that can be infinitely switched with something. So Absolute was clever, it was beautiful, it was well done, it was far reaching. And right now I think Liberty does that well. I have a great deal of respect for the Liberty Bibberty commercial.
Yes.
Every time it comes on, it makes me laugh. And I think about having to pitch that, being like, hey guys, let's get your name wrong.
Right.
On purpose, in market.
With like an emu. Right.
With an emu, and
Right.
and having someone be like, you know what?
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
His name is Doug, or emu with his friend Doug.
It's awesome, and it's funny, and I'm here for that. I'm here for a lot of silly marketing.
Yeah. Yeah. It's hard to stand out. I mean, it's like the bar keeps getting.
Yeah.
It's almost like you can't win a Super Bowl commercial anymore, because like the expectations
Oh my God,
are
yes.
so high.
So true.
yes. And
Yeah.
the harder
Yeah.
you try, the bigger you fail.
Yeah.
And flop.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's just a fine line of it
Yes.
becomes disingenuous
Yeah.
silly as opposed to true silly.
Yeah.
That's the whole dynamic of having to pitch the crazy idea.
Yes.
Yeah.
If I could be in every single boardroom where those pitches would be
love it.
happening,
Yeah.
it would make me the happiest person.
Yes.
I
for
know.
the rest
Me too.
of my
I think
life.
about that all
Yes.
the time.
It's so
like
fun.
somebody had to. Yeah.
Yes.
Go up there.
How many approvals did this go through? Right.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
Yeah.
It just is, and I know that you go through it a lot.
Yeah.
Like you have to pitch the crazy things.
Yes.
And I'm sure you come into those meetings and you're like, here we go.
I'll lead with that.
Yep.
I'll be like, all right, listen,
This is crazy.
this is crazy, but hear me out.
yes.
Yeah.
Hear me out.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I usually love those ideas.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're the best ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yep.
They spark what ultimately ends up being the actual thing that you put in market.
Right. Right.
It's a little too crazy,
Right,
and
right,
then it's
right.
a little too safe, and you find you're nice in the middle.
Yep. Yep.
I like a little
Good
crazy.
ones. Yeah, absolutely. Do you want to do yours?
So one of my classics is, of course, I brought more than two. One of my classics is just Nike, just do it. Like, I just think
Right.
that's like one of the best campaigns ever. And it was one of the first campaigns, at least for me, that I really learned that, okay, you need the emotional tie. You got to play on the emotion of what's happening. And it's lived on for so much, like the vodka thing, right?
Yep.
Absolute. It's like it's lived on for so long, and they've been able to do so many different offshoots with it. I think it's iconic.
Yep.
Totally.
Yeah, the emotion of it is such a huge call out.
Yeah.
Because once the brands that do it right and do it well, that live forever, there's a lesson in each of those things. Like the Volkswagen, like that Volkswagen print ad. Do you remember that back in the day? Arnold did it.
Oh my God, it's so funny. I have Volkswagen on
You
here.
do?
Not that one, but a different one.
Because it's like a master class in brilliance.
I
And
worked
also
at
be
Arnold
simple.
when
During that
Volkswagen-
time, I was at Digitas.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, damn, they're doing things over there.
Yeah,
Things are happening.
I wasn't on that account,
no,
but
yes.
it wasn't that cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
The Share a Coke campaign, do you remember that? When it was all about finding your name on the bottle. I thought that was
Yes,
genius.
that was smart.
Yep.
Genius. And
Yeah.
me being a Pepsi, I'm probably in the minority. I am a Pepsi lover.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't drink it very often.
Right.
But I prefer Pepsi. I got into Coke because I wanted a bottle with my name on it. Yeah.
They're bringing it back around for Gen Z.
Are they?
They're doing a resurgence of that
Oh, wow.
because it worked.
It was a good campaign.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So those were a few of
Yeah.
mine. But the Volkswagen thing that you mentioned,
Yes.
one of my favorite commercials of all time, I don't even know if you'll remember
We'll
it,
see.
was the Jetta. And he parked his Jetta in a parking lot. And all of a sudden you just see the errant shopping cart that was going towards the car. Do you remember this?
Don't they all stick
And
to
the
it?
guy, comes out of nowhere running at full speed and knocks over the. It's you have to watch it. It's amazing.
Okay.
Huh.
And it was like 20 years old, and I still remember it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that was funny.
Yeah.
that was
Yeah.
classic, and that So those are some of the either campaigns or just one-offs that
Yep.
I thought were like really impactful.
Yeah.
I appreciate when a brand can make a campaign so impactful that you can separate the campaign from the brand and it still ties itself together. Like Just Do It in Nike. You see the Nike swoosh
Yeah.
and Just Do It is the first thing that pops in your head.
Yep.
It doesn't have to be a part of the lock.
No, it's just so
It's there.
ingrained. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just become one with it.
Yes.
Those are good ones. Mine are a little bit different, but not crazy different. Actually, no, mine are actually pretty different.
Okay.
So this is
Okay.
good.
Great.
So the first one is a Formula One tie because, Sarah, if you don't know, I'm a huge Formula One fan. And it's all we can talk about right now because we're in season. It's happening.
Well, I
She's
saw your
mentioned it
story.
on every podcast.
I saw your story.
Yes, I posted on my Instagram the other day because I finally was able to catch up on watching the Grand Prix from China. It had been a very busy week. I wasn't able to watch it live. It was at like 2 a.m. our time.
My
so
son watches them live at 2 a.m. Like,
I don't.
Really?
Oh, yes.
I don't. I have to DVR
Yes.
it.
Wow.
He
I
paid
find-
for his own subscription and everything. Zach
for
loves
him.
them.
All
He
right.
loves them. Yes.
Good for him. So
Yes.
no, I had a quiet Friday night
Yeah.
and my son was in bed and my husband was out playing pickleball and I watched the Grand Prix with a glass of wine and it was
Oh
lovely.
my God, that was your okay. Great.
Yes.
Great.
I can't.
You're going to come over.
You're not
and
gonna find
watch
me
it.
doing it, but okay, that's fine.
I
You're definitely
just
not.
can't get past how much you love F1.
Really
like,
love F1. So over the fall, there was an instance where one of the drivers was seen holding a phone case that was Rode, the Hailey Bieber makeup brand. It was this phone case from her brand.
Yeah.
And F1 fans and, Rode purchasers spotted it. And instead of just going, oh, great, like, that's awesome, cool, Hailey Bieber ended up getting one of the girlfriends of another driver to star in a campaign for her brand.
That's smart.
And then another driver, the boyfriend of this girl, had the phone case. So she took the opportunity to get into this like niche fandom of F1 and kind of tie herself,
smart.
which is really smart
Yeah.
because there are a lot of women that watch Formula One, myself
Yeah.
included.
Yeah.
So that was just another way to get into an audience that I thought was really interesting.
Yeah.
And the fact that they took a viral moment and they did something with it.
Yeah.
They didn't just acknowledge it.
Yeah.
They did the and tied onto it. I thought was really genius.
I was going to say, I think one of the key things there is they moved fast.
Yes.
A lot of brands aren't able to do that
Yep.
and take
Correct.
advantage of those moments. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yes. Sometimes you have to leap of faith it and just say, okay, we have to be relevant. We have to get it done. Sorry, legal. We
Right.
can't go through
Right.
all 15
Right.
weeks of
Right.
legal review process. How
Right.
do we actually
Yeah.
do this?
Yeah.
So that was one of my examples. The second one is a broader, just in general, investing in women's sports. Advertisers investing in women's sports. And that is marketing that works. And it's proven marketing that works. I wrote some stats down.
Oh, look at you. All right.
So this year, advertisers spent TV campaigns alone over $240 million on women's sports. So they're placing their campaigns in women's sports on TV. that was up 139% from the year before. And those ads were generating 40% more engagement than when they placed the ads on your general primetime TV. So clearly it's showing that there is a huge market within the women's sports world.
Yeah.
We all know women are majority purchasers in households. So
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, God,
typically.
yes.
Yep.
So,
Yep. And up until the last couple of years, it was really an overlooked opportunity. I mean, Caitlin Clark last year.
Yeah,
and
that was huge.
March Madness, that was just such a big thing.
Yep.
NCAA volleyball had the highest viewership this past year. It's just really important to not forget audiences. It's basically, those are my examples.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because if you can find an audience that works really well, you can tie an awesome marketing campaign to it.
totally agree.
So couple fun ones to look into from my end. It's a lot of good marketing out there.
One of the other ones I wrote down was it's not really marketing, but talking about viral moments. Did you guys both do the ice bucket challenge?
Yes.
I didn't, but like, of course.
Right.
Knew all
Yeah.
So
it
like that was
brilliant.
that
Yep.
was brilliant.
Yep. Absolutely.
Brilliant.
There's a local, I'm going to get two of these facts wrong, but I'm going to get it close enough that the story will still stand. There's a coffee shop in Exeter, New Hampshire. I think it's called Flamingo Cafe. I know it has flamingo in the name. Okay. And they're growing quickly. They're female owned. They're doing everything right. Delicious products. And then the inside of the place looks awesome. They actually have a cool neon sign. It's very Instagrammable, right? Okay. So, and they have 1 million 5-star reviews.
Great.
And then this guy comes in and he did not enjoy his time because he called it, and this is the part I'm going to get wrong, which is the key to the story, but you'll get it. He called it something like disgustingly feminine or something like that. He posted, he was rough.
About the interior
The
of
whole
this.
experience.
Okay,
Just the whole,
disgustingly
and
feminine.
so it's,
Okay.
I'll look it up afterwards. I'll follow up. I don't know how I'll asterisk it in a podcast, but it was like that, a 2-word phrase.
Yeah.
And they printed the Google review, framed it, put it on the wall.
Great.
1 star out of 5, and then printed T-shirts that say
said, like,
disgustingly
disgustingly
feminine
feminine?
with a flamingo underneath them in bright
amazing.
pink, and they're viral.
Yep.
Amazing.
It's their big product and it's making them all this money, but it's that jumping on an opportunity
Yes.
or switching a negative,
Yeah.
Yep.
like a code switch of that's good marketing.
I need to get one of those shirts.
Yeah, they're
I want
awesome.
one.
Yeah.
I know, I do want one.
Yeah.
I want to go there. Like, it's great. Yeah.
Flamingos are my favorite animal.
Are they really?
Yeah. Because they're pink and like so disgustingly feminine.
Well, we need to get you a T-shirt.
Yeah.
Like, you'll like it. We need to go out
I
to
don't know if
coffee.
I've ever seen you wear pink. Do you wear pink?
I don't, but I can appreciate the color.
Why do you
Got
not
it.
wear
All right,
it?
fair.
You'd look nice in pink.
Maybe.
You would.
I lean toward a neutral.
Yeah.
lean to-
I do think you'd look good in pink.
It's
Neutral. You have like cheetah pants.
The cheetah's a neutral.
No.
Yes,
Oh,
it
it
is.
sure is.
Absolutely,
Oh my
it is.
God. All right.
sure is.
all
You can wear
right.
cheetah with anything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. Cheetah's a neutral.
All right.
I can't, I don't have the brain cells to put color on and figure out how it all works together.
Okay.
So I stick in my black,
Stay
white,
in your
gray.
lane. Okay. All right. Well, I was surprised you didn't come up with something like, so I wrote Lay's potato chips down, but only because like a great tagline
Yes.
that you can't eat just one.
That's, yeah.
I love a great
That's
tagline.
smart, right?
Right.
You're daring them to interact with
And
your
I
product.
still think about that sometimes. Like, and you
Yes.
can't just eat just one.
Right. I think clever things like that. LL Bean has a campaign called Be an Outsider. And it's like LL
seen
Bean
that.
and I passed a whatever you want to call it, not a bulletin board, a billboard that said that. And I was like, oh, whoever came up with that is just so smart.
I love that.
In the name,
That's-
going outside.
I find myself not remembering the details as much anymore when it comes to campaigns. It's more the overall emotion and sentiment of it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Emotion. It's all about connection.
Because there's
I like to pick them apart.
there's too much content out there.
Yeah.
So much
too
content
so
out
much
there.
content.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is.
Yes.
So you
yes.
kind of have to like pick and choose.
Yes,
Yes.
we're creating a new podcast.
It's different.
Whatever.
But this
It's different.
content's different.
Yeah,
this content's different.
Yeah,
This is
yeah,
different. Yeah.
What did you, so think back to the Super Bowl, the last Super Bowl. Did you have any favorite ads? Did you hate any ads?
So this is the bad thing. I don't remember what brand the ads are tied to at this point.
That's not
We've gone past it.
Right.
But the one with the tongues, did not like it. It's memorable, but I did not like it. Who did it? I don't know.
I don't know. I'm failing this question right now because
totally
I
forget that
watched
one.
them.
Though it was weird. It was
One
weird.
with the thing, with the...
No, there was the eyebrow one.
there were two with, can you imagine
right.
being the eyebrow companies?
I was
That
so
was
upset for them.
so going second too. I was like, that's
Wait, was it
awful.
eyebrows or mustaches?
one was definitely eyebrows.
It was,
'cause it was Jean
It was like
Levy.
the same
But
concept.
Jean
Oh,
Levy.
it was eyebrows.
Yeah.
It was. It was what's his head.
Yeah.
I felt it for whoever came up with those campaigns.
Yeah.
And it's so unique.
Yeah.
But who's
Like, how
media
did
booking?
that-
Don't they tell them? Aren't they like, hey guys, there are 2 eyebrows here?
But by the time they get it, it's
Yeah,
done.
it's
You've
done.
spent
You're
your
right.
God only knows how much on,
How much
right?
was it? 8 million? More than
So much.
Crazy. That was
It was
just the,
crazy.
just a place.
I thought the seal one was weird.
Oh, with that was Mountain Dew,
Seal
right?
face on the seal.
I appreciate that stuff. I see that. I'm like,
but I remember it.
correct.
Yeah.
You're talking about it.
No
But-
idea what the commercial was
I
for.
can't remember.
Yeah, you don't
anything
remember
right
the
now.
Right,
brands.
I don't.
Was I even there? I don't know.
See, that's an in the moment kind of thing, and then you have to continue to follow up with it. So that's why you can't just place your media in one big
Yeah, that's
splash at one
true.
time and then not do anything
Because
after
there
the
were a
fact.
few good ones, but I'm totally blanking on it now.
Yep.
2 years ago, there was an avocado campaign that I loved because I loved they drove to site and there was a really cool interactive thing, but that's all I can reproduce right now for
Yeah.
you. Something
Did you
with an
watch
avocado.
the Super Bowl? this
I
year?
mean, watch, it depends how you define watch.
drank the Super
Was
Bowl.
I there in my living room while it was on the television? Yes.
Eating the snacks. You were eating the snacks.
Did I? Right.
You had the Super Bowl on.
Did people in my house watch the Super Bowl? Yes.
Okay. All right.
I was there.
I geek out for the commercials. I don't know why.
Yes, I do too, but I think I took a nap.
As a marketer, I don't think I would ever recommend placing an ad in the Super Bowl. To
Ooh,
client.
why? Oh, well, I'm intrigued
For
by
this exact reason. Unless you're looking for just massive,
If you're
massive
doing a
brand awareness.
brand launch, I would say
Brand
it's worth
launch,
it. If
100%, if you
But
have the money.
It's a
Yes.
blip in time.
But if you splash right, you're
you
going to hit hard
if
because you get
splash
a million people.
and then you follow up, it's all about the
It's
follow
the follow
up.
up.
Yeah.
But then a lot of people don't have
No,
the
they
budget
don't.
for the follow up
Right,
or
'cause
don't
you-
approve the budget for the
right,
follow up
right.
because you've used everything for the splash.
Right. True.
So
True.
They should sell micro commercials. You should be able to enter a contest as a company and you get like a 30-second spot and you win 10 seconds of that 30-second spot. And like proceeds go back to, I don't know, I'm brainstorming.
I love
here.
that. That's kind of a cool idea.
Yeah, and then we could share it and it goes to 3 companies that somehow are going to positively give back in some way, but they're little known and they get to be featured during the Super Bowl.
How fun would that
And
be?
like a
if you had
bigger
10
company gets to
seconds?
sponsor it. Like
Yeah.
a do good campaign.
Yes.
Do good.
oh,
Like
Maybe a bigger company that can pay
That's
for
what I'm
supporting
saying. Yep.
the homegrown companies that are
that's
coming
what
up.
I'm saying. Yes.
So good.
It's like a philanthropic company that wants to show that they're more than just like,
Right.
some BS marketing.
Right.
that
And
would
give
get
back
my
in that
attention
way.
more than the crazy ad.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
That's trademarked. We just came up with that.
Right.
Copyright Blue Duck Agency.
Right. Sara Winslow.
Sorry. Can't be used.
Okay. So any other marketing that we'd want to talk about?
Not at
No?
the moment. No.
All right.
Anymore.
Had a
know.
couple good ones.
It's hard. I don't watch a lot of commercials anymore.
That's also the problem.
Yes.
People are not watching a lot of commercials. So you're getting content and it's on your device a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Although, you know where I am listening to commercials?
On
Podcasts.
podcasts.
Yeah.
It's true.
This is from
advertising.
Quince because I heard it on
Yep.
Yeah.
my File Files podcast that I
Yeah.
worship. Like it's
Yep.
Yep.
and I didn't use the code. So like I just did it all wrong.
Yeah.
But I did buy
Yeah,
the
but
thing.
they got
You didn't get a discount
No.
because you didn't use the code?
Right.
And you didn't want to go back.
I forgot. I'm in marketing and I forgot.
So you can't one-to-one on a promo code.
Right. I know.
Real life example.
That is exactly right.
That's
but I
what
did come
happens.
from the podcast.
Yep.
Yep. It's true.
You heard it here first. She came from the podcast, Quince. She did
Promo
not
codes.
use the promo code. Add
Promo
one.
codes are really there.
Do they care though?
Some
Sometimes.
companies do. Yeah.
Okay.
Some companies
Because they
are
got you.
still-
Who cares?
Because people behind a desk are trying to validate whether a campaign worked or it didn't work.
Yeah.
And they're so overly analytical that
Right.
it's like, okay, well, like they wouldn't have counted me, right?
Yeah.
And I definitely came from the Val Files podcast.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
This sweater.
Yep.
And pants, by the way. Actually,
The whole outfit.
I have a
This
Quince,
fit the
I have
pants
a
as well.
Quince outfit. Yes.
Huh. I like them.
Thank you. They're quite comfortable and they're pull-on, which I love a pull-on pant.
Pottery Barn, I bought something over the weekend and then I got tons of Quince ads that was like a more affordable Pottery Barn. And I bought some pillowcases from there.
So that's what Quince's
But are
whole
they
thing
home
is.
as well? They must be, obviously.
They
You have a
must be,
sweater. I mean,
right.
clearly we are both Quince customers.
Yeah. And they're like significantly discounted. Anyway,
Great.
any hoodle.
I wish I wish I could think of more amazing marketing things, but I have amnesia of life.
Okay.
Something happens and I'm like,
I mean,
wow. And
it's
then I
not like
forget.
we shared the agenda with you in advance or anything, but that's okay.
Well, I need more time.
I did.
No, you did Thursday.
I sent it to you.
Yes. Yes.
I'm teasing.
Yes.
I'm
Yes.
teasing.
Yes.
All right. So speaking of teasing, so the other topic that we were gonna, Sarah, by the way, listeners, Sarah was anxious to have this conversation on
Yes.
the podcast because
Yes.
I think she was worried she was going to get fired.
Yes.
And,
That's a fact, but I'm no longer worried.
you should not be worried.
I'm not worried.
So transparency, I can be a pain in the ass when it comes to creative. I fancy myself a creative. I'm a wannabe,
Okay.
I think. I think I am sometimes
Right. I wouldn't
pretty
call
creative.
you wannabe. Yeah, I think you're creative.
But it must be hard to be the creative director at an agency and have your boss want to play creative director sometimes. That
Yeah.
must be a tricky spot to be
It's a tricky
in.
spot.
Yes.
It's a tricky spot.
Like if you go on vacation for a
Yep,
week
yep.
and then you come back
Oh God.
and I've like reworked the entire script.
You haven't though. Oh well, that's
Yes.
a different
She
thing.
has.
And I also don't feel this is a whole different thing. And I also don't feel like it was reworked. I feel like you took pieces from existing
did.
scripts
I
and
definitely
put them
did.
together. So that to me felt like a solve because we already were a few iterations in.
Yeah, I was telling myself I was helping.
For
sure.
you were.
Okay.
And for the record, that was helpful.
Okay.
So that's great. Let's lead with that.
Okay.
Because that was
Starting
like
on
I
a
could look
positive.
everyone in the eye and stick with that. That was helpful.
Good.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yes.
When has there been a time where it hasn't been helpful?
All right. So here's the thing. So I don't think it's about. So there are goods and bads. And here's a side note for viewers at home. Feedback Deanna has given me in the past, unrelated to creative, is say what you're going to say.
Yes.
Because I'm trying to pad it.
Yes.
Trying to be nice.
actually just gonna say
like,
that to you.
say what you're going
Right.
to say. So you just did say it to me. So here we go.
Right.
So I think that your understanding of creative can be helpful. I think a president of a company's understanding of the creative process can be helpful. And feedback to me is helpful, especially direct. Where I have found it to be a challenge for me personally, and then a challenge leading the team, is it can plant seeds of self-doubt. Because I will only take my pushback so far with you
Yep.
because of where you sit.
Yep.
And that's, I think, an important thing for any leader.
Yeah,
I don't even need
that's
to be
why-
like you.
No, that's why this
Any
topic is so good.
Like
Yeah.
any leader needs to know. I think I'm a pretty decent example. I'm not easily scared, and I like a challenge, especially when it's about creative.
Yeah.
I like a good debate. However, I feel that if it's too much, it erodes confidence. So it erodes my confidence to allow my team, our team, to take risks. And erosion of confidence can breed censorship. And that's dangerous. And so then I think over time, but you also say all the time, trust your team.
Yes.
Trust your people. And so I think with time, enough stuff gets out the door that lands in front of clients that is then well received, that there's reins that are let up. There are boundaries that are relieved. And I'm answering this question because it was placed on the table, but I, wouldn't necessarily have readily answered it.
No, but I think I know it's an awkward thing because I'm sitting next to you, but this has to be a dynamic that people face all the time.
Right.
Like if you have, I'm making fun of myself with it being
Right.
creative.
Yeah.
But it has to be everywhere, right? Somebody
is.
who's, and I think one thing that's really hard, one of the biggest lessons I learned as a manager, and it took me a while to learn it, is you have to let go of stuff and let people do their jobs, right? Even if they don't do them the same way you would do them, right? And that doesn't make you look weak because you're not doing it. It makes you look better because you were smart enough to put people in place to do the jobs well, right? So it must be hard with that approach when you then have your boss coming to you and either taking over or we disagree sometimes,
Yes.
and that's going to happen.
Yep.
And
Yep.
every once
Yep.
in a while I have to pull rank, and
Right.
it is what it is. We
Right.
have those conversations, but I think this is a dynamic that probably happens at every company.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think it happens more in a small company. In the larger companies that I've worked for or contracted for, there are so many, like, buzzwordy, but there are so many silos that, like, the creative director is the decision maker, and then it goes to the client. But the president couldn't possibly.
Oh, yeah. Right.
And that's my point, right?
Right.
And that's why maybe there are certain, whatever, stipulations or whatever it is. But I think that even more than that, it's like coming to the table with a basic level of understanding for what the person is doing. So, for example, I will leave a conversation. Now I'm going to talk about us.
Yeah, sure.
I will leave a conversation with you. Let's say we're disagreeing about something, frustrated, angry. But then it's helpful for me to step back, as we talked about in a different podcast, to step back and take a minute and, like, think about what you're thinking about. And most of the time, I can see it.
Yeah.
Most of the time. And then the few times that I can't, that's my signal to me that I should stand up. Not in like, "Meh," but be
No,
like,
no.
and then
Yeah.
ultimately, if you're like, well, sorry, this is
Yeah.
how it is.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's how it is.
Yeah.
That's how it is.
Right.
But, like, if it feels important enough for me to, like, enter the metaphorical ring
Yep.
for round 2, then that's a promise that I've made to you as a creative director
Yes.
that you've hired.
Yes.
You've said, like, that's my promise to you.
Yeah.
So then I need to have boxing gloves
Yes. Yes.
to walk into the ring.
Yep.
And I think that's I just use us, but that's a universal truth for creative.
Yeah.
That's a universal truth for
That's probably-
account
yeah,
directors.
I
That's a universal truth for
imagine
president.
you
Every
feel
job.
that way too, right?
Every
Oh,
job.
yeah.
Yeah.
You need to, once you reach a certain level,
Yes.
to walk yourself into that ring.
Yes.
Yep.
Because that's the promise you're making
Well,
yourself.
and that's the expectation the leader has, right?
Yep.
You're not hired to roll over.
I don't hire. Right. Exactly.
No.
Right. Doesn't mean I'm always going to agree.
Right.
But a lot of times I change my perspective and
Yep.
view. I mean,
Yep.
Yeah.
Or take a chance.
or
Yeah.
or maybe we'll try it both ways or whatever.
100%.
Right?
Yep.
100%.
So I frankly expect that and want that.
Right.
Now, not all bosses probably do. And so I think that for people who are in that spot and they don't have, the ring is not open.
Yeah, the ring's not always open.
Right.
Yep.
Yep.
That can
Yeah.
be, I think, really hard.
Yeah.
I imagine. So,
Yeah, I came from an agency where the ring was not open.
yeah.
And it's just not where I wanted
just
to
watching.
personally be.
Yeah.
Right.
Because then you're
Yeah.
an order taker.
Yeah.
And you know you're not doing the best work for the client because you're not able to push where you need to.
Yep.
So being somewhere where you come to the table prepared to argue your point and the why, what's happening
Yes.
behind the scenes that made me
Yes.
put this out in front of you, and then to have the conversation. You have to have the conversation about it if you know it's going to be in the best interest
Yeah.
for getting to the goal.
Yeah.
The other thing I'd say to other leaders out there is it's okay to be wrong.
Yep.
I'll pick on us for a second.
Yep.
So, we're going to be promoting our company in some new ways this year. And Ashley presented a plan.
Yep.
And I was pretty vocal about using one particular social channel
Yep.
that I did not think was a good use of our money.
Yep.
And she said, okay, fine, we'll scale it back. And what was it, like a week later or whatever? Somebody else on the team, not knowing, I don't
Yeah.
think any of this, right? But sent something out saying, oh, look, I just saw this article. This social channel, the one that I did not want to use, is turning out to be a really good vehicle. And I'm sure she was thinking it. She's not going to say it, right? But she probably had a little like,
Yeah.
so, right? In the back of her
Maybe a little
mind.
bit.
Yeah. But as a manager, so I emailed everybody and said, I stand corrected,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
It looks
yeah,
like
yeah.
I was wrong on this
Yep.
one. Let's
Yep.
try it.
Yep.
I think you have to do that to create safe spaces for people too, because I'm wrong too,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Yeah.
and I was not right about that one.
Right, right.
I mean, we'll see, but
Yeah.
I wasn't right to shut it down entirely. So I think
Yeah.
that that's something that is important in management and leadership roles for sure.
Yes.
It's true.
Yes.
Yeah, if you can be open to listening, that lets your team bring more to the table.
Right.
And then they're going to find the right thing.
Right.
for what needs to happen.
Yeah.
And your advice of kind of pick your battles, right? Like
Pick your battles.
Like listen to the feedback, and if you
Yep.
can see it, great. If you can't, then like you said,
Yep.
that's a reason to go back and do a round two.
Yep.
And people should listen when that happens. Yeah.
Yes.
That's the best case
Otherwise,
scenario.
you don't have people in the right
Right.
jobs, right?
Yeah.
It's very true. So when you're getting feedback, creative
Yes.
feedback
Yes.
from all angles,
Yes.
how do you take all of that and still do whatever needs to happen next to get to a good final product? Because I'm sure that you're getting feedback sometimes where it's like, this should be red. No, it should be blue. No, it should
Right.
be green. It's orange.
Right. I think all feedback is helpful because it's probably a little bit reflective of market. Like everybody's going to have different opinions, but also, and you say this a lot, Deanna, people want to, I'm going to come back to your question first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People want to prove their worth, and they don't want to be perceived as not having value. So if you put something in front of them, they are going to want to give feedback
Yeah.
on it
Yep.
Yeah.
to show that they're a contributor, to show that they're smart.
Yep.
But also I know that. So I'll get feedback back and I can see all the different angles, right? We know the creative we want to bring to market. We know what the client has asked for. We know what the company is trying to do. And so if someone really wants blue and I love green and blue doesn't freaking matter, put blue.
Right.
Right. But if someone wants to change this line of content, that's the crux of the thing and you fight that. So I think it's just like a colander in the kitchen. Put all the crap in and filter it out. And the purest thing, you keep those. But also you can't see it all. You can't.
Yeah.
Like I can look at something immediately when a concept gets in front of me. I do a scan and I will know immediately, are we moving with this concept or are we going back to the drawing board with this concept? You guys, I'm sure, can do it with strategy too. But it's I will look at something from top to bottom, then I'll look at from bottom to top. I go down, then I go backwards. And then that's the same way I go with feedback. I read it all and I'm there are 10 things and I'm those two are whammies. Those need to be incorporated. How the hell did I miss that? Who said that one? That's an outlier. I'm going to have to do that. And the rest of them, fine, make the change.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Did that answer? I feel like that's
It did.
long-winded,
No,
but it's
it
just
did.
Filter it.
It's just interesting because creative is the fun thing.
Yeah.
Everyone loves to have an opinion on
They
creative.
sure
know.
do.
So
Because it is fun.
It is fun.
It is fun.
It's fun.
It's also
It's
business.
exciting.
It's also subjective.
It's subjective.
It's
too.
tricky.
That's where, so in, agency world, we don't always succeed, right?
Yep.
But, we try to look at concepts when they come through as, being able to explain and justify the change or the request that's being made. And is that from how the client's going to perceive it? Is that going to
Right.
be something that's against guidelines? Is that going to hurt the interaction with whatever the piece is and affect response? There needs to be a reason outside of I use myself as I hate teal. I hate teal. And when people use teal, I'm I have a visceral reaction to teal.
Yes.
I don't know why. Okay. But that doesn't matter. My opinion on teal does not matter.
Yeah.
And so I
hear it.
can't comment on that.
Right.
I should not comment on that.
Right.
Right. Because the people receiving it, there might be a good reason for the teal. Somebody might respond to that. That might be a color that really drives
Right.
emotional connection and
Yeah.
right. So you have to be really careful with your feedback that
Yes.
you give. And
Yes.
you got to ask yourself if you can
Yeah.
defend it before you send the change in.
Which is tricky if you can't. Because sometimes I'll get something and I will think to myself, I don't like that. I don't like it. Why? Sarah, why don't you like it? I don't know. I just don't. And so then I have to explore my gut.
Right.
Because usually there's a reason
Yeah,
I don't.
right.
I have a gut reaction and I'm meh.
Does your gut lead you in the right direction?
Generally.
Usually? Yeah.
Generally.
And you find the reason. After you think about it a little bit, you find the
Yes.
core reason for
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And it's not just I just don't like it because I don't like it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. There's something. And if it slips through all the way to, can you jump on a quick Zoom? Then I've missed something. Was I tired? Was I overwhelmed? I usually don't miss
something
it.
horrific.
Oh, horrific. But I didn't think it was horrific. That's a good
That
example.
was a tough
But
one.
that was also a good example of choosing words. And I was spicy back on that one. I was like, oh, it's like, whoa, it's horrific. Please.
Yeah.
Like, tell me what's horrific. And then it was like, okay, maybe it's bad.
All right, then I did.
Maybe it's bad. Right.
Okay, I'll tell you.
I'm like, what?
But
and
that
then we
was,
go back
I
and
probably
forth.
should have used nicer words.
Right.
But yes.
But, right. So that's how.
I've never called anything horrific, I'm pretty sure.
No, I know who the comments come from.
I'm just transcribing them.
Well, actually,
Hold on. I get the feedback and I'm like, Deanna.
it's worse than that because Ashley will attest to this. I just write stream of
100%.
consciousness. She has to take what I write and make it nice.
Clean it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which but that's also.
I'm not being mean.
Right.
I'm just being direct, right?
Yeah.
Like,
You're being fast.
yes, I am being fast.
You're being fast, which I can appreciate.
Efficient with the 15 things I've asked you to review,
Right.
and then the 27 things somebody else has asked you to
However,
review.
Yeah.
However,
I know. I
right?
try not to. I try to be a little more mindful
Right.
of it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
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 No, I definitely use the word horrific. So sorry about that.
That's a hashtag horrific.
Hashtag horrific.
Hashtag no.
Well, it was funny because she was spicy. She was like, well, and then I was like, fine. And I said this like long ass
Right.
paragraph.
And then I was like, fine, meh, bullet A-R-E, like, in light of. And then I'm like, 5 o'clock, wine, see you later.
But you have to have that relationship.
Yes.
Yes.
You know what I
Yes.
mean? And I think that that's really important. And
Yeah.
and Sara needs wins too. I mean, I've had to go back to the account team a number of times and been like, guys, like
Yeah, but not because it's shitty.
subjective?
I don't need wins if it's
No,
shitty.
but is it subjective?
Oh,
is
yes.
it not?
Yeah.
Or
Yes.
just like let her present it. I mean, Dina's the head of our client services team, have had a number of situations where the concept we did not like
One.
was the one that was selected.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It happens.
And did well, probably, in market. So you just don't, you never, right? So sometimes you got to trust.
Yeah.
You just
Yeah.
got to trust. Yeah.
It's definitely not a comfortable conversation to have back and forth. You do have to have that level of trust and respect. But then if you're not doing it, you wouldn't be doing your jobs.
Right.
Right.
Especially when there are witnesses. No, like when you're sparring with
Sparring.
with
a good one.
people watching the match,
That really bothers you.
I don't like when it's done to me. I will step out.
You're taking offline.
I will. And not
But
offline.
I learned that early on with Sara. We could be on a call with 2 other people, something could come up and it's not really going to phase you. Sara needs to be one-on-one.
It shuts me down.
Yeah.
Not like it shuts me down like big middle finger to the world. Like I actually lose the ability.
to focus.
Yes.
Yes.
And I want to focus.
Yeah.
And so then I'm like, well, everyone's watching me. I can't focus.
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah.
So then I
So-
just quickly go into a side chat and I'm like, can we do this over here? And then I do it over there. And then we come back to the chat.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's good. It's knowing the people you work with.
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
People first.
People first. There it is.
Got to know the people first.
Yep. So
All right.
Okay.
Anything else that might be helpful for,
for people of the world,
yeah?
no,
Being a creative director is not for the faint of heart.
it's the best job.
That's good that you think that because you're our creative director.
It is the best job.
Expand on that. Why is it the best job?
I love everything about my job.
That's awesome.
I love everything
I
about it.
have this in writing and
You do?
recording now. Yeah.
Oh,
So
no,
now
I love this job. Because it goes back to something we were talking about in the other podcast about that whole unique ability thing. Whether I'm good at it or not, I love it. And so
very
it's
good
one
at
of those I get to do this every day, so it's not work. It's work. I'm exhausted, but I love writing.
Yeah.
And I love looking at creative things.
Yeah.
And I love having those conversations. I love presenting weird things to clients.
Yeah.
I love being like, have you thought about having remember having a singing worm crawl?
Oh, yeah,
you
yeah,
let me
earworm.
present that
Yeah,
one.
the earworm.
A concept where I pitched having a small worm in a car drive up someone's. They didn't pick it. I missed opportunity. I still think it. But that's why I really like this job. It's fun.
Yeah.
Rarely do I have to do math.
Oh,
I
that's
budget
good.
now, reached a math level. I'm at a
Yeah.
math level in
You
my
are now
career.
at a math-
I'm at a math level, which is fine.
You are
I'm
not.
proud of myself.
You're not thrilled about it.
I'm not, but you know what?
yeah.
When we talked about apps, I did say I have a calculator on my phone, so I got it.
You did.
But no,
did.
But
I do
knowing
love-
how to input numbers into the calculator is part
is
of.
tricky, tricky. No, but
That's so funny.
I'm not just saying I love my job. I get to write and design stuff and work with creative people. I love that.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah.
Obviously, because I like to steal your jobs.
It's fun.
So I agree.
Yeah.
Your job is fun.
My job is fun.
Yep.
Be a creative director.
There you go.
All right.
That's it. If there was ever a Creative Directors of America marketing
Be a creative
campaign,
director
be a creative director.
of your own life.
A creative director. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Curate your life.
Curate your life.
Yeah. Do it.
That would go on your shirt. There's your tagline.
There's the
Yes.
tagline.
Do it.
Perfect.
So I have a game of Would You Rather.
Okay. I'm ready for this. I'm excited. I'm warmed up.
All right. You ready?
Okay. Yeah.
You can answer them too if you'd like.
Sure.
But Sarah
It could
goes
be
first.
fun.
Sarah goes first. Sure.
Okay.
It feels special. I feel like we should have a beverage. Okay.
I know.
All right.
Totally. Would you rather have your brand spoofed on SNL or parodied on a TikTok trend?
Ooh.
I know.
Spoofed on SNL.
Yep.
Or parodied
on TikTok.
parodied on TikTok.
Same. TikTok. Parody on TikTok.
Yeah, I think it's a compliment.
Yes.
SNL may not be.
It's going to reach more people on TikTok.
Yeah. The right people.
Yep.
Yep.
That's interesting.
The algorithm will always find you.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Would you rather have dinner with your teenage self or your future self 20 years from now?
Oh man. This one makes me cry again. Teenage self or myself 20 years from now?
Yep.
Teenage self. That's it. I can't even talk about it more.
I agree.
Oh, I know
Teenage
it's hard.
self.
I want to
kids
talk
this
to
age,
her.
I know.
I want to talk to her.
Me too.
I don't want to see future me. I don't want to know what's coming. So
Yeah,
I
no,
would
that's
wanna
part
go
of it
back.
for me too.
Yeah.
That's part of it for me too.
I would 100%. I need to tell myself some things.
Future you or back you?
Back me.
Me too.
Yeah, she needed some guidance. Some
But I
lessons.
wouldn't change anything. I just want to talk to her.
Yeah,
I feel
would
the
think
same.
I would want to.
I wouldn't
I would
change.
change some things.
You would?
Yeah, I should have been more confident when I was younger.
That's fair.
Strong.
So, I mean, same.
Yeah,
I don't think I could have changed it for me.
I don't know if I could have, but I'm gonna try. I'm gonna talk to her.
Talk to her.
I'm gonna give it. yeah.
Okay. Go talk to her.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
All right.
doing that through my teenage girl. So.
No,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
You are. I have
Trying.
one too. No,
Trying.
it's so true.
Would you rather design a brand campaign for Taylor Swift or Beyonce?
Beyonce, boom.
Beyonce.
Ooh, look at you guys.
Yeah. Just
Would you rather pitch a wild idea to a skeptical client or present a last minute deck to the CEO?
both.
No, would
Just
you
one
rather?
before the other. A crazy idea to a skeptical client. Or a last minute deck. Last minute deck to the CEO because I think I'm quick on my feet.
Okay.
I would do the same.
Okay.
Fake it till you make it.
Fake it till you make it.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
I've pitched enough crazy ideas to skeptical people. I could write books about it, but
All right.
Would you rather work 4-day weeks forever or work from anywhere for life? I know these are good, aren't they?
Like, and anywhere for life means 7 days a week.
5 days a week.
but your location is anywhere.
Yeah, you could work
Anywhere.
from Thailand if
Anywhere.
you wanted to.
Anywhere.
4 days a week for the rest of my life. Yep.
4 days, I think.
I'm sticking with mine. I feel good about it.
Would you rather build a brand from scratch or completely rebrand an iconic one? I know.
That's a big one.
I know.
Why?
I'd like to rebrand an iconic one.
Which one? Do you know? Oh, you do know.
Because I want one that's like dusty but still has life.
Ooh.
You know,
What is
like,
it?
I don't know.
Yahoo's 30 years old this
That
year.
is not.
Like Yahoo.
That I don't think that's still its
They're
life.
dusty.
Definitely dusty.
It could have life after Sarah's done with it.
Like Macy's, like
Oh,
you know,
okay.
like
All right.
something like
Yeah, yeah,
that,
yeah.
like a good old boy. Like they've been around.
Yeah.
No more comforter sets. I would start there,
What would
or
you
maybe
lead
I'd
with?
lean in Macy's.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I'd
What do you think
embrace
they're
the star
strongest?
in some way. I'd have them. I don't know that I'd try to bring new youth into them. I'd have them embrace the boomers.
Yeah. Totally agree with that.
The actual retail shopping days of yesteryear.
I want to get my mom back into Macy's.
Yeah.
I'd partner with Clinique and bring back the Clinique special and do. I don't know.
All right.
I just
I
like
like
it.
boomers to Macy's though. I think
Yeah,
that's
boomers to Macy's.
that's true.
They
And
want to go
boomers-
back.
We say this all the time. People forget about the boomers. Like everybody's focused on the Gen Z
Yep.
and the millennials and the what's after Gen Z, the
Alpha.
betas or alphas or whatever it is.
Alphas.
Yeah.
Boomers feel
Gen
forgotten
I.
about.
Boomers, and especially as we know, there's like a prime slice of boomers that are
They're good
they
right now.
are a spending. Yeah,
They are.
Yeah.
They're traveling. They're retired.
Yep. And they
got the
are
money.
people just assume they get them, but they don't.
No.
They don't, not in the right way.
Yeah. Yep.
So Macy's,
Macy's.
call us.
Yep.
Yep.
I got you.
What was your answer?
I would want to start a new brand.
Okay.
I don't know what it would be, but
Yeah.
somebody come to me and I'll help you out.
Okay, great.
Obviously in the F1 space.
Maybe.
Obviously.
I just helped my sister create her brand for her basketball coaching. That was kind of
Really?
That's cool.
That's cool.
Yeah, we used Canva. We used
That's cool.
AI.
Yeah.
Nice.
Like it was a fun little exercise.
Yeah.
We used color theory with ChatGPT.
Don't know what that is.
Oh, it was very interesting. So we're doing an exercise on what does she want this brand to be? What are the goals? What are the missions? We put it all into ChatGPT, and they gave us all these colors and these color story options. And each of the colors was based on something that we had told it that we wanted the brand to be.
Yeah.
So like the primary color was power, the secondary was blah, blah, blah. And it gave us all these options. So it was really cool.
Neat.
It was a very accessible way for, I don't have a ton of time between
Right.
work
Yeah.
and family and
Yeah,
life.
yeah.
My sister's not a marketer,
Right.
nor is she a creative.
Right.
She doesn't have any time.
Right.
So we kind of just both got together for a little bit and used AI, and
Yeah.
she has a brand now.
Nice.
That's cool.
Yeah. So I would
What
do
was
that.
she doing? What was the brand she was creating?
So she is a head coach for a local college women's basketball team, and she is going to be doing camps and ancillary coaching, just female
Good for her.
empowerment through
Oh,
sports.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Just very, very cool.
Love that.
Yeah, I love that so
I'll
much.
plug her online.
Absolutely.
Okay. Would you rather pitch live on Shark Tank or present at a TED Talk?
Oh,
You have to go
TED
first.
Talk. I want to actually.
Do you?
Yeah.
About what?
I think I could tell the story about how I started in the right business, but the wrong part.
Yeah.
Like I summarized that, but there's more to that.
That's- Right.
I was down in
and
the
that's
dumps
so
about that.
relatable.
Yeah.
I would want to do both.
That's
Can I answer
not
both?
the question.
You're not allowed to say.
Would you rather?
Okay, I got to go against the Sharks.
Really?
Yeah, I feel like
You did do a
that's
good job at our meeting that one time.
It's a once in a lifetime opportunity.
That was really fun.
I'd be too nervous.
Because they're going to be
You need
ruthless
to know
with you.
math.
Right. No, that's
definitely
why.
need to do
That's
math.
why.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why, because they're going to be like, blah, 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 percentage, blah, blah. I'm going to be like, oh, hold
gonna
on.
be like,
be right
for
back.
20
It looks pretty.
Yeah.
It looks nice.
A 20% investment at 100.
Right. When you were giving the stats, I was like, okay, that seems okay.
Okay. I think I'd do a Shark Tank. I'd
Yeah.
be so red though. Can you imagine?
That's okay. Maybe that's part of your product.
Maybe that's your product. I was going to say the same
D-red?
A D-red.
Yeah,
reading?
yeah.
Something.
It's not going to be successful if I go there and I'm red.
Well,
Right.
you try it. You like start
maybe I
red
put on
and
half
then
my
you
face.
It is. It's
Yeah.
fast acting.
Yeah.
It's like that bag thing I keep getting served. Like you dab it on and suddenly it's like
you have no more
sucks
bags
in your bag.
eyes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Would you rather spend a month with no Wi-Fi or a month with no AC or heat?
A month with no Wi-Fi.
Yes.
I need to be comfortable.
A month with no Wi-Fi.
I definitely need my AC in the summer.
Yeah.
And heat in the winter. This is survival.
I don't know. I could
Yes.
probably get away without heat. I like it cold.
Yeah, you generate your heat. I know. I do also like it cold.
Would you rather have a personal chef or a personal assistant?
Chef.
Chef.
Assistant.
What's he or she doing for you? Just all the things.
Yeah.
Folding the laundry, picking up the thing,
Yeah.
remembering the thing,
Yeah.
ordering the thing. Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
Chef.
Would you rather be invited to the Met Gala or the Vanity Fair Oscars party?
Ooh.
Met Gala.
Right.
Met Gala.
Because the dress, right? Like you want
Absolutely.
something
I
like
cannot
really over the
wait.
top.
What's the theme?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I'm there.
Me too, I think.
Yeah.
That'd be so fun.
Something wild.
Wild.
Yeah.
See what the Kardashians are wearing at the time. They're all like invited every single year.
Yes.
And their outfits are crazier
Yes.
and crazier every
Yes.
single year.
Yes. Yes.
Sometimes one of the F1 guys is invited too.
Oh my God.
Lewis Hamilton.
I literally, like, I'm just,
He's a fashionista. Fashionista.
Yep.
yeah, I don't think it's, is that the boy term?
I don't know.
It is now.
Jinx.
You guys have had a couple of
Pinch
things.
Coke. Oh, me a Coke.
A Coke or
With
Pepsi.
my name on it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Did you ever find one? I found one, Deanna.
Ashley
Ooh.
is very easy to find.
Sarah's easy as well. You just got they
But
always make them
Sarah
with the H
or
and
H,
not
I was
right.
just
But
gonna
they
say.
give both. They give both. They honor us.
But they had a
They
Deanna.
honor our
I
space in the
never
market.
have my name on anything.
Really?
Makes me so mad. I always look every time I'm in a toy store, like the little stupid license plate.
Yeah.
It is kind of a rare name. I did not meet a Deanna until Blue Duck Agency, and then I met two.
We came in a pair.
You did. Yep.
All right.
Game.
Well, that's all I had with my Would You Rather.
Those are
I know.
really
I should
good
come
ones.
up with more.
All right.
I know.
Well, we did a good job.
Well, it was wonderful. I'm glad you came on.
Thank you for having me on the pod.
Absolutely.
That was great.
You will definitely be back.
Great.
Can't wait
you
for
will.
it.
Great. Soon.
Yeah.
Yes.
Soon.
Yes.
I can't wait for the next round of creative feedback that comes back and forth and how the conversations go.
Just don't say it's horrific.
No, we won't say it's horrific.
Well, because it's been done by now.
And I feel like we have
Find a new
Find
one.
your new word.
Find a new one. Yeah.
such
Appalling.
a deep understanding of
Yes.
how we work through this. It's going to be great.
Yeah. Be gentle.
I'll be down the sidelines taking notes.
Okay. All right.
Just
We have a lot of things coming up. There's going to be a lot of creative feedback over the next couple of weeks. Like us.
I know.
Yes.
This week.
Oh,
in
for
fact.
our stuff.
For our
you mean?
stuff.
Yeah.
Yes.
I know.
There
For
are
our
exciting
personal
things
agency
in the
stuff.
hopper.
Lots
talk
of
about
stuff
it?
in the
Can we?
works.
I don't know. Why not?
I doesn't. Yes.
We're shooting our first commercial
Sure are. In
for our
3 days.
agency.
Yep.
Yeah, for Blue Duck.
Yep. We're
Yep.
shooting our first commercial.
Yeah.
Live commercial.
Well, not like our first agency commercial.
Right.
We've done
Promoting
videos and
us.
commercials for other people.
We are practicing
Right.
self-care.
We are.
Yes.
We're practicing self-care. We
Yes.
are. And like
that.
people on set. Like there are a bunch of people coming. We've
Yep.
cast. Yeah, so it's all ready to go. It's booked.
I heard
ready.
craft services and I was like, wow, we're legit. We have craft services
and
coming.
hair and makeup.
Amazing.
I'm ready for my close up.
You will be.
Here.
Ashley's going to be in the commercial.
I can't wait.
I am not.
You will be. We even have to take you to a second location.
Oh my gosh. I get
Wow,
Just
you're like
around
a,
the corner.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, you're like a
Yep.
VIP.
We didn't like one of the places for you, and we're just taking you around the corner to a place we like better.
You know what? My manager's going to have to sign off.
I
on
know
that
you may
first.
need an additional rider.
Yeah.
Actually, we should do that. We should get people to sign off on
riders.
stuff.
Yeah. So we can use them in perpetuity. And
Yes.
what if they burn themselves on coffee?
Correct.
Okay. Sweet. Don't do that.
If
I won't.
somebody falls down, just don't fall.
Don't fall.
Yeah, don't hurt yourself.
It'll be great.
Yeah. So lots of stuff coming up. That's exciting.
That is very exciting.
Thanks for diving in with us, everyone. Make sure that you like, review, share, leave us a comment. Let us know what topics you want us to cover in the future. And we'll see you next time on Ducks Unplugged.
Bye, guys.